Hello YouTube, this is Grimjack, and I am going to do a small introductory to Agrarian Skies 2 with some tips and tricks for beginners and some intermediate players. I am anything but a professional YouTube recorder, but I have fun with the game, and I'm hoping to help you learn some of the neat stuff that I'm going to recommend to you for early on or even mid-game processes. That's the best way to put it. Anyhow, early on, you're going to run into the Stone Planter. Stone Planter is an early quest that you need to know one thing. Your very first single upgrade range of 1 is only going to function to the east. All of the progressive automation tools start on the first square to the east. Now, if you'll notice, mine is a range of 9. That starts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then if I were to put another piece of dirt right here and give it some seeds, it would plant right there. Matter of fact, I'll show you that. There's a big tree. I'll show you that right over here. Now, with the chopper, I'm having a good tree day. With the chopper, this is an iron chopper. The thing to know about both chopper and planters are that if it is a stone tool, a stone chopper, you do not want a tool that is higher than flint. Now with iron, same thing holds true. You don't want something that's higher than iron. You'll see that I upgraded these. I did use a block of gold and a diamond to give myself an upgrade slot. Then I threw an emerald on it in order to get a little more functionality out of it. With this flint hatchet, I also used an obsidian haft or tool rod in order to, again, get a little more durability out of it. And second thing that you're going to want to know and learn early on is there are 2 very useful work tables in the game. One is the regular work table, which you may have used before. It gives you 9 slots that allows you to memorize skills and maintain an inventory to work from. Also is the production table. Now the production table is an all-in-one tool that allows you to have either or up to 4 crafting tables or 4 furnaces or a mixture of the 2. As you'll notice, I have some extra storage upgrades with my crafting table, which allows it to behave similar to the work table that I just showed you by having a standing inventory of materials that is separate from your own inventory. Now that is the only upgrade that I currently have in this. There are no global upgrades in this one. Over here, where I'm growing some monster trees, I have another production table that is currently cooking up all that wood, but it has some fuel efficiency upgrades. So I'm using very little charcoal to produce a lot of charcoal from all the wood that's coming through. Big trees. Okay, and well, let's get that. Another reason well, that was a nice healthy pause. I'm such a professional. Those are great tools to have. This right here, the builder from Compact Storage, don't build compact storage. It's going away. It's being removed as far as I've heard recently. One of the things that I do recommend early on, when you have some silver, start looking into the solar panels. Solar panels are a great set and forget that allow you to power tools without having to think about it ever again. You can just throw things in it and off you go to the races. I've got some extra cobblestone that I'm throwing in here, grinding it up to add to my processing system, which is downstairs, which I will be showing you in a minute. Over here, I also have magma crucible, fluid transposer, induction smelter, and redstone furnace. One of the things that you will want to do early on when you get some coal is pulverize it. Pulverize coal mixed with iron in the induction smelter gets you to steel. Now, you're not going to use all of your coal there, but coal combined with sulfur, which is the side product from coal in there, the blaze powder, which you get from sifting sand, dust, I'm sorry, and along with redstone from sifting dust, gets you your pyrotheum dust. Pyrotheum dust. Those are all going to be very valuable to you very early on when you start getting into some of the automation. I will show you now two things about my production system. You see here I have the compacting drawers. Compacting drawers are just absolutely awesome. If you're not familiar with them, you can see that I have 35 blocks of electrum. If I take the whole stack by shift clicking, you see that I only have 4 electrum ingots now. I'm going to go ahead and collect those 4 ingots. Now it's empty. Well, let's throw it all back in there. Well, I've got 35 blocks, but maybe I want more ingots. So now I have 9 ingots. So I'll dump those back in, but it says I have no nuggets. Well, if I try to take some, it'll automatically convert everything. This is just a fantastic little system that I am using an automated feed from below, which I will show you. Signalum was not made down below, steel was not made down below, but I still find myself wanting the ease of use of the compacting drawers. But all of the rest of my materials, with the exception of copper, bronze, and aluminum brass, are all made automatically for me, and I'll explain why in just a moment. A large collection of materials that are all coming mostly from sand. And matter of fact, it's all of the non-ore materials that I get from sand, dust, or gravel. Let's head down and take a look at the beast. I call it the beast because I really didn't lay it out very well. It kind of grew organically the way I wanted it, but this is what it does. As you can see, I have large quantities of material going through here. Not as large as usual. Actually, I just realized that I have taken off some of my speed upgrades. I'll put them back. Right now, speed upgrades allow it to process much faster, as you can see. Oops, don't want to lose those into the void. That would kind of suck. Now, wouldn't it? All right, let's come back around here and grab these. Again, such a professional. Here we go. So I have my processing system here is running off of pulverizers. I am running 3 different levels of pulverizers. I have my basic, I have my hardened, and I have my reinforced. The main differences between them is it gives you additional augmentation slots. Even with a basic machine, you can pull these configurations out. It will adjust how it works. I could take this out and it will stop automatically feeding it to pipes. If I want to run pipes that will then pull it out, I could throw a speed upgrade in here, for example. In this particular case, I'm not. I like the way everything's pushing out. But the hardened allowed me to add a single augment, which I did for speed. And then on reinforced, I did 2 for speed. Now, the reason for this is I want to generate as much sand as I can work right now because I need the yellorium. On this one right here, you'll notice I have both outputs going to orange. It is spitting both gravel and sand out the same side. But since gravel is only accepted there and sand is only accepted in the barrel, it is automatically distinguishing where it needs to go. In my sand producing machine, pulverizer, as you can see, I have sand coming out here, dust coming out the top, but I also have sand coming out the left side. So this is actually producing about 75% more, no, maybe 100% more. Let me double check that right now. The speed increase is, hit shift, 4 times speed. So I'm actually doing a lot of sand as fast as I can process it. Half the sand goes into the sand barrel, the other half of the sand goes into the dust pulverizer, which is then spitting out for dust to produce. Now, after having shown you all of that and sped everything up, you can see how much more material is flowing through these tubes. It's all coming to this bucket. This bucket is the sorting chest, which is attached to a sorting interface and the connectors into the bank of sorting barrels up top that you saw before. In here is all of my materials that are collecting, which as you see things reach 4, they will suddenly start disappearing. Come on, you can do it. There's 7, 4. Basically, I have an auto packager right here that has a solar panel on top. It's packaging the stuff up, throwing it in here. And then I take these materials, silver, platinum, tin, nickel, lead, iron, boop, and aluminum. I put them in my little whitelisted filter here. And you'll see them start to come down here in a rapid rush. And I am probably missing, let's see, which one am I missing? I am missing for platinum. Well, I'll figure it out later. You see them all coming in here. They dump into here, they dump into here, and they dump into here. Well, it's just going to start spitting this stuff out. Well, I have iron and nickel. Those are both going to melt. They're going to smelt together and become Invar. But the one thing you don't see is copper. Remember how I said I was keeping copper out? The reason I keep copper out is when copper blends in an alloy, it ends up in uneven ingots. I don't mind if it blends Invar because it comes out even ingots. Electrum comes out even ingots. I just want this thing to keep spitting out ingots and feeding them into my system, which goes into my compacting drawers. So I can see tin going through here, I can see iron going through here, I can see aluminum going through here, and Invar. So it's just, this is an endless flow of supplies that runs upstairs. I never have to think about it at all. Once I got past my initial bronze counts and my initial aluminum brass, and my initial copper, I stopped copper from entering the system at all. Everything else is just golden straight up into the compacting drawers. Let's see, what else have I got going on here. I do have a mob farm, which I can probably go over at a different time if you're interested. If you want to see anything that I'm working on done explained better, or oh, and here's my other smeltery, which I use mostly for gears, basically. I've got a chest up here. When I want gears, I just go to my material, drop it in the chest, and then come down and collect my gears. Anything you want me to cover, I'd be happy to talk about and show you either how I did it or how it can be done. There are a number of people doing stuff super detailed, super elaborate. I'm just having fun. And let's see. Other stuff. What else can I think of that I think you need to know? Oh, and part of the reason on the... oh, that's something I didn't cover. I talked about it real quick and didn't go over it. I am using the auto packager to compact. If you notice down there, it's 2x2 and then 3x3. That's why you'll notice that coal is in here. I don't want coal individually. I want it in blocks because I'm too lazy to build them into blocks myself for feeding to my endoflames. So I have a barrel that just maintains one single set of coal blocks, and then I have my coal blocks that I come over here and I will take a stack of these, come over here and toss them down until the endoflames gobble them up, and I start producing lots and lots of mana. As you probably have noticed early on, I have collected a lot of mana. I'm not doing anything significant with Botania yet, but I will. Now, another thing to, just in case you don't already know it, passive animals are not passive. You will get killed by them because they will sneak up on you and attack you, and this is what they do for fun. So I created this breeding pen, standard, adults being bred, children being moved into the pen here, and then as they turn into adults, I actually have two different ways of slaughtering them. I have the grinder and I have the slaughterhouse. Now the reason for, the reason for the slaughterhouse early on is I want to get my pink slime out of the way early so that when I decide to do my laser later, I have the pink slime balls. And this gets me started. I can turn that around and go back to collecting meat bits. And you need to be 30 blocks, 35 blocks away from grassland for passives to spawn. The original quest that Jaded Cat put up was for 36 approximately squares. I have gotten spawns on this smaller pad. It's just doesn't happen as much, but you do need to be a good 30 squares away, 30 blocks away in order to get any type of consistent spawning. Let's see, what else is going on? Yeah, I'll show you my grinder. The grinder that I made is kind of a hybrid of a number of other grinders. It has a drop. It has both high spots. Right now it's lit. I've got some glowstone up there. That's why I could charge right in here. And those are the spawn pads. There is water all around in order to feed the mobs down into here. This 5x5 is the only area that Enderman can spawn. I don't want them spawning high, hitting the water, and then exploring my base. That kind of sucks. And that's kind of how that works. So I'll take that. I've kind of shut it down temporarily because I'm waiting for iron chests to be put back into the game since since Jaded Cat is taking out compact storage. The compact storage had way too many bugs, and it used to be that you could pick up a compact storage chest with a dolly and it would create a 0-slot compact chest as a remnant in your inventory. So it was starting to clutter stuff up. Way too much lava production because I have early on I was using magma generators before I got my big reactor running, and then now I just have them feeding into this barrel, which then I can either dump redstone or glowstone into to get the netherrack and endstone, or I take that hopper off and put a source block of water above it, and it just endlessly produces obsidian for me until I turn off my servo. But in the meantime, I've got all of this lava being generated and feeding into my smelteries. I have both of them being fed. I'm standing on the other one. Well, I'm just doing a whole lot of rambling on. I'm not as organized as I was originally hoping to be, but I did want you to see some of the cool stuff going on. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my mob spawner running, just so that you can see how quickly that will generate a large quantity of... And I don't want to lose my glowstone, so I'll do that and that. And we are now in business. I'll come over here, and about the time I reach the trees, you'll notice in my mini map, which I'm going to enlarge, I'm already got mobs spawning behind me, and I haven't even gotten as far as I was originally planning. They're spawning down in there, getting ground up into little bitty bits, and that is feeding via tesseracts over to here. I have a drum of experience. There's my extra drum. Yeah, there's my extra drum of experience, essence drum, I should say. And here we go. It just starts grinding them up, and there's another angry zombie head. That's what just died because I had cleared it. Heads will store in filing cabinets. So that's one way to do it. I haven't gotten a sorting system here. I used to have a compact drawer here, one of the large ones, but now I'm kind of have this crippled because I don't want too much stuff and waiting for, like I said, the iron chests. That will make a difference. And yeah, this is just flowing. One of the reasons, as I mentioned before, is I wanted to stay focused early on getting a reasonable amount of Eulorium, because for big reactors, it's huge, and I have been trying to stay on top of that. Also, I did a multi-farm over here for either mossy cobble or witch water, aka soul sand. So all I need to do is put a single block of mycelium here, right in the center of this ring. All of that turns to witch water, and then any sand in that barrel just filters right on through. So this was another one of my early semi-automations. And as I mentioned before, on each of these Mine Factory Reloaded tools, I have a solar panel 2 that, in all honesty, it probably could have gotten away with a solar panel 1. The solar panels are fantastically easy to make early on. I can't stress enough that it's something worth looking at the very least. That is for a low investment of some silver and some glass. You make 2 sets of this to make your first panel, some redstone and set of planks, and you're off to the races. They're progressive, so you start with 12 silver, make 12 silver, 36 glass, gives you enough solar panels in order to make your level 2. And then now for the level 3, you only need 4 of the level 2s, but you get into the photovoltaic, which is nothing more than another mirror and a lapis in an induction smelter. It's a rapid progression. It does get pricey as you move on because it's doing all kinds of other stuff. But the key is that it is set and forget. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to pipe to it. You don't, like I said, it's easy for me. It's not super powerful. It's just convenient. And you know what? I think that pretty much covers the stuff that I want to talk about right now. My bloodwood tree in the back is not doing anything because I invested a lot of time setting it up. It works, but yeah, me. I'm getting more than enough redstone from my sifting of sand and gravel, from dust. Neither sand nor gravel gives me redstone. And as you can see, I'm getting quite a bit of materials. Maxed out my flint, and just there got more Eulorium. And that's pretty much it. I want to thank you very much for watching and for joining me here and letting me show you some of what it is that I've done with my experience here in AgrarianSkies2. And if there's anything you'd like to see or like me to explain, include it in the comments below, and I will be more than happy to, begin a series or just show off some of the stuff that I enjoy doing so much. Thank you very much for visiting, and have a good day.